Looks like Volkswagen sent us a 2023 Jetta 1.5 Turbo SEL. Let's take a look at the price tag. The base price starts at $21,000. This one's loaded up some goodies, so we're up to just over $28,000. And where is this nice German car made? Well, in Mexico, of course. But the transmission does come from Japan. Here's a list of all the goodies you're getting. I won't read it off. I'll just scroll down real quick and freeze the frame if you find something to your interest. If you like German cars, we also drove this Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video. You got fuel economy almost as good as this Volkswagen. If you like your expensive German cars, we have this BMW 230i we drove. We'll have a link for that video as well. So at our garage and test facility, let's roll out this Volkswagen and see what it looks like. And here we go. Pretty decent looking vehicle. Side view. Odd looking wheels. I like them. And the rear view. I got a big trunk in here, and one of the first things we do is check and see if there's a spare tire. Indeed there is. And later on we're taking these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. Looks like we got two bulbs. Under those, a 1.5 liter turbo, rated at 29 to 40 mpg, average of 33, hooked to an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you want more power, there's a 2 liter available with 228 horsepower. Uses more gas and costs more to buy, of course. There's a 6-speed manual on the menu, but I don't know which engine that's available with it at this point. Not the biggest info screen I've ever used, but more than adequate. Here's the camera system when we put it in reverse. Nice clarity. Very simple climate controls. We have a mode button. No, it's hard to see because of the glare. We get Eco, Normal, Sport, or Custom modes. Get a super large glove box. Nice 12-volt plug-in up front where it belongs. And on the sunroof, if you don't want to look at the sky, you have a cover, but it's just a mesh that lets in too much light and heat. Not a good idea in June, July, and August. There's one peculiar feature I noticed, the sun visors. On the passenger side, they don't slide back and forth to block out the sun. Got this big open space. However, on the driver's side, they do slide back and forth to block out the sun. I don't get it. Why on one side and not the other? We're trying to save a few pennies here. I don't get it. Like most German vehicles, we get excellent seats. Didn't skimp in that category. And the materials and workmanship are pretty good. Nothing fancy, but more than adequate. Programming the radio, like most German vehicles, is easy once you know how, but learning how is a pain in the you-know-what. And I just cleaned this off this morning, got fingerprints on it already. Well, if you got a touch screen, that's what you get. Part 1, show and tell is over. Part 2, let's go out and do some driving, starting with the power steering. On the positive side, it's quick, responsive, very, very light. You can operate this with one finger. The downside has no feel or feedback, but I doubt the typical person will care. As we do in all of our videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps around 15 to 20 miles per hour. See how the suspension performs on impact. Here comes bump number 1. Wow, very smooth. Impressive for a small car. Here comes bump number 2. Didn't feel a thing. Number 3. And the big nasty one. Very smooth. In spite of the small motor, this thing has a lot of acceleration once the turbo kicks in. Nice brakes. going to take a highway trip, see what type of fuel economy we get off this tiny 1.5 liter turbo engine, which I'm very impressed with, by the way, for 150 horsepower. It's got a lot of guts and plenty of acceleration. I'm not complaining at all. Nor am I complaining about the ride comfort here. Smooth, quiet, nice seats, quick steering. This is a very nice vehicle for taking long trips. Impressive for a very small car. Keeping the cruise control at 75 miles per hour. I got over 40 mpg, but it's Saturday morning. There's a lot of idiots out, road hogs, who do a lot of passing, and I think it might drop my number just a wee bit. Alright, 113 highway miles, 38 mpg. Pretty good considering all the passing I was doing. Slow it down, you'll definitely see over 40. And with a combination of highway and city driving, 33.9. And since being in the fleet with mostly city driving, as we can see with an average of 22 miles per hour, 27.8 mpg. Pretty good numbers all around. I'm not complaining. We're going to take another 100-mile highway trip. A lot cooler tonight. Maybe I'll get us some better fuel economy numbers. Well, 39 mpg on this one. No complaints. So what's my take on this Volkswagen Jetta after a week of driving? You know, it's got all the features I want in a German car. Nice suspension, quick steering, strong brakes, comfortable seats. Very pleasant to drive on long trips. I'm very impressed with this small 1.5 liter turbo engine. Plenty of power, good economy. Yeah, I'd rather have the 2 liter with more power, but this one works just fine for me. And the price of 30 grand is competitive, so if you don't want to go Japanese or Korean, go German. Or in this case, maybe German-Mexican. We already did a video on YouTube showing the headlights and night drive. If you didn't see that, you'll see it now, part 3 of the video. So here we go. Alright, we're in the dark. Let's see how these headlights perform. Taillights are rather thin, but have a nice bright glow. Emergency flashers are the same color, red instead of yellow. That's kind of odd. The yellow on the outside mirror, and yellow on the front. A lot easier to see with the headlights off. Dinky little things. And from the rear, put the transmission reverse, and this is the camera we see, not the biggest, but will do. Gauge cluster lights up pretty good. The cabin's pretty simple, not that many controls, so not that many things to light up. We do have a nice color band going along here. I'm told it changes colors, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Let's go with the headlights and low beam, only wall 33 yards away. Very bright, good height, way over the bushes, the way we want, and go to high beam. Some strong light there. Looking good. Now the dark, dingy street. Headlights off. Low beam, high beam. You watch my videos. I like auto-dimming mirrors on the freeway, but not in city traffic. I don't want blacked out mirrors in city traffic. It's not very safe in my opinion. So if I hit auto-dimming mirror, I want an off switch, and there is not an off switch. You can, of course, put some tape over the sensor hole if you want to turn it off. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with this. Alright, let's take some freeway trips. Light up the road signs. High beam. Low beam. Low beam. High beam. Yeah, it does a pretty good job of reaching out there, no doubt about that. Let's get on the freeway again, and this time we'll take a long trip. Right, slow beam. We'll pick up a lot of signs along the way. lights do a pretty good job of lighting up the road, and if you're on a dark area here. Even on low beam, cruising at 75 miles per hour works pretty good. These lights do reach out more than adequate. And we have some long distance road signs. Yep. Lights them up real good. High beam, low beam. And we got some more signs, low beam, high beam. Yep, working pretty good on the highway, no complaints there. We've got a lot more down, way down there. In for the dark, dingy street test. Got a lot of cats in this neighborhood, don't want to run over. Even the low beams are more than adequate. Don't need high beam on a road like this.